In this lesson, we're going to discuss chargebacks and tagging. Chargebacks and tagging are two important concepts in cloud computing that help organizations manage their cloud resources and costs more effectively. Both of these concepts play a critical role in ensuring that cloud computing costs are allocated to the right departments or projects and that the organization has a clear understanding of its overall cloud computing spend. Chargebacks are a method of allocating cloud computing costs to specific departments or projects within an organization. This allows organizations to recover the cost of their cloud computing resources from the departments that actually use them, rather than relying on a central information technology budget. Chargebacks are usually implemented by setting up call centers or departments within the cloud provider's billing system and assigning the cost to a specific cost center. This information can be used to generate reports that show how much each cost center has spent on cloud computing resources, which can be used to invoice the cost center or allocate the cost to specific projects. For example, a large retail company may have a cost center for its online shopping platform, which is hosted in the cloud. The company can use chargebacks to allocate the cost of its cloud computing resources, such as virtual machines, storage, and data transfer, to the online shopping platform cost center. This setup lets the company pay for the platform through its e-commerce business unit instead of relying on the central IT budget. In AWS, chargebacks are implemented using AWS Cost and Usage Report, which allows organizations to allocate costs across multiple departments or projects. The AWS Cost and Usage Report provides detailed information about AWS costs, including the services that are used, the amount of data that is transferred, and the total cost of each service. This information can be used to generate reports that show how much each department or project has spent on AWS resources, which can then be used to allocate costs to specific departments or projects. In Azure, chargebacks are implemented using Azure Cost Management and Billing Service, which provide detailed information about Azure costs, including the services that they use and the amount of data that is transferred, and again, the total cost of each service. This information can be used to generate reports and show how much each department or project has spent on Azure resources, which can then be used to allocate costs to specific departments or projects. You're about to see a similar thing with GCP. So in GCP, chargebacks are implemented using GCP Cost Management and Billing Services, which provide detailed information about GCP costs, including the services that are used, the amount of data that is transferred, and the total cost of each service. This information can then be used to generate reports that show how much each department or project has spent on GCP resources, which can then be used to allocate costs to specific departments or projects. Tagging is another method for tracking and organizing cloud computing costs. Tagging allows organizations to assign metadata to their cloud resources, such as virtual machines, storage, and data transfer, which can be used to categorize and track the cost of each resource. Tagging information can include the name of the project or department that is using the resource, the cost center associated with that resource, and any other relevant information that can help the organization better understand its cloud computing costs. Tagging information is stored in the cloud provider's billing system and can be used to generate reports that show the cost of each tag, which can then be used to allocate costs to specific projects or departments. For example, a software development company may use tags to track the cost of its cloud computing resources, such as virtual machines and storage that are used for software development projects. The company can assign a tag to each virtual machine and storage resource that is used for a specific project, such as Project X or Project Y. The company can then generate reports that show the cost of each tag, which can be used to allocate the cost of each project to the relevant department. AWS, Azure, and GCP all support tagging, which allows organizations to assign metadata to their cloud resources, such as virtual machines, storage, and data transfer. This metadata can be used to categorize and track the cost of each resource, which then can be used to allocate costs to specific departments or projects. In AWS, tags can be assigned to resources using the AWS Management Console or the AWS CLI. In Azure, tags can be assigned to resources using the Azure Portal. In GCP, tags can be assigned to resources using the GCP Console or the G-Cloud CLI. Chargebacks and tagging are important concepts in cloud computing because they help organizations better understand and manage their cloud computing costs. By allocating cloud computing costs to specific departments or projects, organizations can recover the cost of their cloud computing resources more effectively and ensure that the cloud computing spend is aligned with their business goals. Tagging allows organizations to categorize and track their cloud computing costs more effectively, which can in turn help them make more informed decisions about how to allocate their cloud computing resources and optimize their cloud computing spend. In conclusion, chargebacks and tagging are two important concepts in the cloud computing environment, and they play a critical role in helping organizations manage their cost. By allocating cloud computing resources to specific departments or projects, and by categorizing and tracking their cloud computing costs, organizations can ensure that their costs in the cloud computing world is aligned with their business goals and they have a clear understanding of their overall cloud computing expenses.